I said that I was going to come on here and I was going to talk about as if you had a chance to look at my weekly vibe and mantra, I said I was going to share about this very important time that we're coming into, which is November, and it's November the 11th, so it's 11/11, 2000, excuse me, I'm going to time my script. November 11th, and so it's 11/11, and it's 2019, and it goes all the way into this gateway of January of 2020. And so one of the things I'm going to be sharing on my website is a countdown to 2020, because this is a very important time. And many of you might have noticed, like today specifically, we have been going through a lot of changes where things are hitting us hard. And so Saturn went direct, and Saturn's really cool because when Saturn goes direct, it says, "Where are you now? What are you going to do with your life?" And know that you can create your life. So between now, which now is a very important time, I'm not joking when I say this. It is so important time period we are in today. Is Now's a time period in this day, and I just want to bring up to some people, you may be on a different day. The dates may have changed, so whatever it is, but it's the 18th right now. It's the 18th of September to 2019, and we're in a time period right now where we're starting to feel like, hey, things are changing. A lot of people are going to be coming out of hopelessness and moving into the prism of clarity. I've been talking about this for a while. You can see this prism behind me, and I can't even stress how important it is you are this prism, okay? You're this prism of light. It's so important that you are receiving intuitive guidance at all time. And when you allow yourself to be an open channel, and there's so many ways you can do that. I'm releasing my book this November. It's funny how I'm doing this, and it's all like kind of like falling into place. But if you can let yourself be a channel, but do it in a grounded way, in a clear way, out of it is going to come a myriad of opportunities, people, places, things will just boom come up. And that's what being awake is all about. And being awake doesn't mean that you're not allowed to fall asleep sometimes. Gosh, you're human. I think that that's the most important thing, is that, see, like me, I'm like, turn lights on, turn lights off, but it doesn't matter. We're all human. Nothing has to be perfect. That's why I said I need to do this. I need to do it live, because by doing this live, it's going to open up a stream of just realness. Hey, here I am in this moment, and I'm sharing with you. I'm not going to edit this. I want this to be as real can be, so that you can know that this time period that we're in is all about letting go. Like right now, it's all about letting go of self judgment, letting go of the past, letting go of all the stuff that you put yourself down. And I'm looking you in the eye. Who you are is exactly divine. And no matter what you've been beating yourself up from the past, let it go. I can say this with honesty, since 2002, between 2002 and 2012, it's been crazy. Like, you may have had people that matter to you so deeply just say terrible things or go away, and it's so hard to let go of the things that people say, um, or people like that you love so deeply just walk out of your life. It's so hard, and I can say that it's impossible, especially if it's a child or a parent, or but you have to know that no matter what, you know you have had things that have been coming to you up until now that have been clear, clear reality shift. So it was a choice that you needed to make. And I know for me, like I like went through this like hurt, hurt when I passed, like that old Saturn retrograde is like coming up, and it was retrograde. It was like bringing up all this stuff, like abuse as a child, and things that like really even that I didn't share, but things popped out of my mouth that I said I would never share with people I loved. And I did. I did it out of self defense. I did it out of, whatever reasons, but it went against my own morals. And I even went through a time in my life where things that I believe in and that I would never choose to do, I went against my own values were. And up until this day, and I just got this message a couple days ago, and I didn't know why I was feeling this, okay? But it was like I was like beating myself up to the point that I couldn't forgive myself, and I was driving everybody else in my life crazy because I was like chasing after them pathetically and going, please forgive me, please forgive me, you know. And it was because I couldn't do that, because for me, like I've always strived. I'm gonna say this, I'm a survivor of incest, and gosh darn it, I'm a survivor, and I survived it, and that's okay. That's okay. But when you go through things like that, sometimes you hold expectations so high within your realm that it makes it really hard to like let those things go, and you hold expectations high, but things happen, and so there's an importance of just realizing that you can't always change things. You can't always change things that do happen. Thank you. And the things that do happen, they happen in life. And so it's like you want to bring up, you wanted to review those things, you wanted to pick things apart, you wanted to explain everything, and you were feeling like nobody was listening. And what was really important is when we're in a Saturn retrograde, you got to be listening to yourself. You can't listen to anybody else, because you know what? Their view of who you are, at the end of the day, to you, it doesn't really matter, because you have to look at yourself in the mirror and you have to know who you are. And you have to be okay with who you are. And it can trip you up when you're hearing those voices that say, you're this, you're that, you're doing this, you're doing that. You know what? You already know what you're doing. People that love you, if they really love you and they know they're struggling, and they do love you, but if they were aware and they really care, they would not judge, they would listen. But some people, it's okay, like they're younger, maybe and it depends on your relationship with them. Like why should, let's say, a child know, or have to even know things? Or why, like sometimes we do so much over explaining, and we do that during the Saturn retrograde period. And I can honestly say, now is the time. Today Saturn went direct, so it's all about being in that reality of your own and loving yourself, and don't define yourself through your past. Be clear of it. And even when you're going to notice, because the energy you create in your own mind is what you get back. So if people haven't come back or things haven't worked out, that's because you believed it. And that's because you didn't change things. And the judgments that you held, were they yours or someone else's? You will know by now. What is someone else's? At this moment, by you watching this video, you'll know by now what is yours and what is someone else's. Let it go. Because you, in this moment, are starting over for you, and you are worth it. So between now and that energy, that gateway that I was talking about, and I wrote about it, and I want to read this to you. And if you get a chance to look at the weekly Bible mantra, please do, because it's really important. This is probably the most important video that I've made out of all the videos that anybody could listen to, because we have seen so much pain and suffering, people literally losing it, depression is on a rise, and so it's on the rise. Do not oppress others. Love them, and allow your eyes to be mirrors so that they can see the good in themselves. But when you look in the mirror, see the good in yourself, because you already know if there's something that's not right. You already know that you need to work on it, you need to change it, and you don't have to explain yourself to anyone. Just love you. That guilt stuff, all that stuff, let it go. Guilt does not need to be given energy. And that's what it's been doing since this time, the time period I'm talking about. Some people say 2002, some people say 2005. It started 2002, between 2002 and 2012, it took root, planted its roots. Now, pull it out. Let it grow somewhere else, but not in here. Give it back to Mother Nature and let Mother Nature receive it. It is not yours to carry, okay? You're okay. You're okay. This body that you live in houses a soul. And once you breathe in the breath of life, you make a noise, because the human part of you says, I'm here. And when you breathe out, make a noise. And your breath goes back to all that is. I know I had a near-death experience, and I didn't go down a tunnel or anything. I just felt myself like merging into everyone. But I felt a lot of love and a lot of peace. And I also can tell you it changed my life in a way where I was on this path of teaching certain things, but I wasn't balancing it. And guess what? I learned it. And balancing it now. And it doesn't matter what anybody else thinks. I don't care. I don't. I know what I'm doing. And I know it's right. And I know that I have listened to other people, and I have really embraced. I mean, I'm a person that I do listen to people, especially people I love. And I only have to prove things to myself. And I know what I've changed. I know what I've worked on. And I'm not worried about it anymore, because I am okay. And if you might go back and look at some of my old videos, you might see a different me. That's not sitting here. It wouldn't be sitting here. It might be kind of like, la la land. I'm here to tell you that I can do this. You can in this moment. So let's talk about what's coming up, because it's really significant. So this is an I am me week, right? Like we're talking about, it's I am. It's okay to celebrate your life and yourself. The full moon in Pisces, which happened last Friday on the 13th, it brought about some strong feelings of us wanting to let go of things, right? And it gave us a choice. It really made us look at the timelines of negative emotions, feelings, and it was interesting because I'm like, all of a sudden, I'm like, I don't have to do that. Why did I do that? And one of my friends said, you need to get your kahunas back because you're a woman with kahunas. I'm like, oh, what do you mean by that? He goes, you're a strong woman, and you just need to recognize that's who you are. And if you need to be strong and you need to plant your feet in the ground, do not stand for this anymore. Do not allow others to abuse you. Do not allow people to take you for granted. I'm like, they can take me for granted if they want. And he goes, I don't mean it that way. He goes, I just mean, just don't, he said, don't put up with things. You need to stand your ground. And I have, and I am. So, that's important. That's really important for you to know too. It's not like you have to go out and fight, but you need to know you have that masculine and feminine inside and you matter. So, as we did this, went through this, we chose things. We made choices. And so, as we enter a new gateway, right? We were in these timelines, we're full speed ahead. So, up between now and November 11th, 11/11, which I'm going to be celebrating with my dear friend at Sedona store in Hawaii, I can't wait, is an opening. And she does it fast. I can't wait to be sharing. I'm going to share her name and everything that I want to have her on with me so you can see her and get to know her. She's a beautiful soul. And I can tell you her name is Malia Hinton, okay? She's the owner of Sedona. So I want to share this with you at November 11th, 2019. Between then until the 20th, January 20th of 2020, there are many new cycles that are going to realign our lives on all levels of our being, rewiring our belief of ourselves. Emotionally, physically, mentally, and always spiritually. Our spirit is clear. Our spirit doesn't hold any sickness, doesn't hold any fear, any judgment. The spirit is always clear. But the spirit also is in charge of our breath, is in charge of really wanting us to hear how perfect and how unflawed it is. And when you can align with that, you can get through anything. If you have had problems with addiction, if you've had problems with depression, you can get through it by aligning with that perfect part of you, which is your spirit, which is inside of you. Sitting up straight, smiling, and holding space for you. So I'm going to keep reading. This is on, back to my weekly Bible mantra, I've written all of this down too. So for some who base their own self-worth on the outside world, they're going to experience, if you keep basing your life on the outside world, you're going to experience these shifts. And you're going to be forced into, like literally forced down to the ground to feel the air that you're breathing, and other people are not breathing this air for you. You're breathing it for yourself. You will be forced to notice that it's your path that you're on, and what you do matters to you. So if you want to keep listening to other people and you want to keep judging yourself and that, guess what? You're going to go to the ground. It's like going into a sweat lodge where, you're shedding away things, and you got to get so close to the earth and breathe that breath and know that you're the only one that can do it, because nobody's going to go down and breathe, get into your body and breathe it for you. They can coach you and say, breathe. Oh, but only you can breathe that. Only you can do it. And it's so important for you to know that you are the navigator of your own life. And you can do this life. You chose it. So as you are being pulled in, you're going to get to know yourself so much better. You're going to realize that these things that other people say, they can't pull you down. Or you get to know yourself. You know what? So what if there's something that you know, oh, I did this thing in the past. If people hold you to that past, let them. Don't hold yourself to it, because you are not the same person as you were before. And if they can't see that, it's okay. Don't get mad at them. Let them go through their own process. Love them. Love them. But stop apologizing and just be the best you that you already know you are. That's so important. It's so important to know that what you do matters to you. So I just want to say, don't absorb that energy. Don't define yourself based on other people's perceptions. You can create your life. Got that energy streaming in, and that beautiful person can go wherever you want it. It's not going to go down into the deep blue muck. Choices happen. We're human. We go through things. That's life. We have ups and downs. We need to scream. We need to cry. We just need to be. So find something you love and do it well. And know that this is a time to shape your life for the better, the way you feel is best for you, not anybody else. And you know, like, I've always been a person, like, I would love, and it's like, my dad gave me, and is he disciplining me? But, and it was like such a force of like respect, and he never meant to make me feel bad or anything, but because of the respect I have for him, and even the respect I have in my family, for the people in my family, I let it pull me down. I base my entire self-worth on the love that I receive from others. Can't do that. You gotta base it on the love you give to yourself, and others will just love you back. Love yourself more, and you'll receive that same love back. Put your oxygen mask on, and then share it with others, and they're gonna like what they're breathing too, because we all share the same breath. Our souls are so connected. The only thing that separates us is our physical body. So, as we're doing that, remember one thing: you're human. You get up in the morning and you go to bed at night, and you see yourself in the mirror, or you feel yourself. Feel your own feelings and shape your life. Nobody can do that for you. Only you know who you are and what you like. And if you gotta keep explaining to others, it's draining. Stop. Be yourself. Be silly. Be silly. Be happy. Cry. Be human. Allow yourself to experience the human part of life. So, things that cause you anxiety, separate yourself from, even if it hurts. It might hurt a little because you might be so attached to that thing, that you might get sick. You might have to fall to your knees and take the breath. But if it's causing you anxiety, you know it's not good for you, and you know it doesn't feel good. If it's people in your life, separate yourself. You're never separated from anyone. And if things are meant to work out, they're going to work out. And if they're not, you at least know that, I always have said this, I said this to my children, that when you look up at the moon, the people, everyone is looking at the same moon. And so if you need to talk to someone that you love, and talk to them. And I know, and I can promise you, that they're going to be looking at the moon, and they're going to wonder if you're looking at it. The moment they wonder that, I guarantee you, you're looking at that moon at the same time. Something I told my children was that no matter where you are, just look up the moon and know that we're under the same moon. It was something that, because when a couple of my kids started to travel, I didn't like them being so far away, but I knew, they were in their career and they needed to do it. And it was my way of letting them know, and me feeling them, just to look at the moon. And there are times that I just know. I know they're feeling me because I told them about them. And we're all under that same roof. We all live on planet Earth. Realize the truth. Your limiting beliefs and your negative beliefs can only be held by you and anybody else that has put things on you. Don't accept it. Don't be mean or let them have their opinions. They have a right to their opinions. But don't become those things. Be who you are. That's why there's so much oppression and depression. Because like one person could say something to you, it could literally make you feel you've dragged yourself down so deeply into the muck. And it's like, why are you doing that? Guess what? Of course you're doing it because you love. And it matters to you what some people think. But if you keep letting yourself be held back by it, then maybe what they really wanted to tell you is they loved you enough that they wanted you to feel better, or they wanted you to come back to that happy part of yourself, that normal humanness in yourself. And so do it. Do it. Smile. I did this for a long time, and trust me, I'll go through perimenopause. Vitamin D is great. But it's up to you. You can cry, you can scream, you can feel. Most of all, touch your heart. That light coming in. All of those beautiful colors stream through you and receive. So separate yourself from those negative limiting beliefs and realize the truth. You know yourself better. You know yourself better than anyone else. That's the truth. Pay attention to the self-talk, self-belief, and clear the way. Clear the way for new thinking about. Clear the way for a new thinking about life, about the creation, what you're creating for yourself. I know a lot of you have been being hermits, and you're like you get those feelings like, what's next? Like it doesn't feel like there's more. There is more. But the only way that there can be more is if you choose the best more for you. And you're worth it. I'm worth it. And I'm going to sit here right now and say, no more no's. Sometimes you got to go through the darkest things. Remember, like many teachers have said, in my darkest hour, I saw myself in order to know that you can flip the light on any day and that you are the light. We are all lights in this world. And that's where the name of my business came from. I am the light. I am the truth. I am the way, light the way. And that's what this channel came from. And with that, I just want to tell you so much love and grace. You can do this. As Gandhi said, be the change you wish to be in this world. You can do it. You matter. And thank you for taking the time to be present with me. I'm excited to be starting. I said I wasn't going to do this until I could I felt awake. And I kept looking for this approval from other people where they were okay with me so that I could go and do my thing. And I'm like, no, this is about me knowing I can do it. So as I shared my dreams and people believed in me, when I stopped, they're like, what is going on with her? Why is she so much hurt? Why is she like stopping her? Why is she stopping her life? Because I thought I had to. I thought I had to wait for approval. I got this message. There's no reason to wait. Because the only way to really live life is to keep on keeping on. And I'm worth it. You're worth it. Please go over to Kimmie Rose, KIMMIE Rose.com, and please check out my new website and click on my press kit on media, and you can see where I'm going to be as I present my new book, Wake Up Your Intuition. And I've actually published this book. I wrote this book a while ago, but I redid it because a lot of things have shifted. And I wanted to step into my path and my tour and do this totally awake and more safe. And I can't wait to meet you and just to know that there's a reason that we're connected and there's a reason that we are sharing this video together. Be a prism of light. Be happy as we are in the countdown from a November 11th, actually it's from now, to January 12th, 2020. Countdown. Being awake. Be awake. Countdown. Cheers to you and peace. From my heart to yours. Open heart. Namaste. Thank you, everybody. Peace. And I'm glad I could do this live.